What's up, everybody? It's Steve the Hurricane here, and for today's episode of A Drink with the Hurricane, we're going to talk about the upcoming presidential election and what it means for your home care business. Cheers. A Drink with the Hurricane, the home care sales and marketing talk show that discusses all things growing your home care business. All right, so if you're in the United States of America, as I know I have a large following overseas, for the people overseas, what happens with the election may or may not have an impact on you. So, forgive me for this one episode, just speak to my fellow Americans on this episode, all right? But still, it's some good stuff for you to be able to realize if your country is in the midst of a political change or if it's going to stay the same. But for everybody who's an American watching this with me, I'm an American. I live in New Jersey as part of the United States, and I'm proud to be an American, all right? I'm very proud to be an American. We're not the most perfect country in the world, but no one is, and that's totally fine. But what I'm starting to notice and starting to see is there's this trend of home care business owners around the country and really around the world too, who get into this holding pattern where I can't make a decision until I know what's going to happen with this election. And it's very, very frustrating for the owner. It's frustrating for the staff and the team. It leads to fear and anxiety. It leads to chaos, we'll say, for lack of a better term. And it really shouldn't be. Now, I want you all to know that I'm going to reference a couple of surveys throughout these next few weeks with the Drink with the Hurricane leading up to a big, massive webinar that I'm going to do with 1,000+ business owners on December 3rd. So if you're not registered for that webinar, please click the link below and you can register for that webinar right now. You do not want to miss it. There's going to be a free gift that I'm going to give away of almost $1,200 in value to those who are live on it. And I'm going to really talk about moving forward with confidence into 2021 because there's so much uncertainty right now. But the survey that I want to reference, I'm going to share my computer screen with you right now so that you can see. The survey that I want to reference came out recently from My CNA Jobs. And if you want access to the full survey, you can click the other link below in this video here, and it'll give you access to the full 12-question survey that people had filled out. And when I saw this, it made me realize that I need to talk about this because there's so much uncertainty here. And this question really, from my perspective, I don't put too much stock in the politics of things. My business is not as affected by politics. Your business shouldn't be either if you're a private pay business. If you accept Medicare, you accept Medicaid, then yes, politics does impact your business. But if you're a private pay business, it doesn't necessarily impact things too much. But what was very interesting to see when I looked at this stat that you see right here on the screen right now is whoever wins this election, I think it will be best for my business or for my employer's business because the people surveyed, there was 282 businesses surveyed. About half the people were owners and the other half were employees who filled out this survey, who participated in it. And the thing that really jumped out to me was not who's in the lead, because really what jumped out to me more than who's in the lead is that more than half or pretty much half the people surveyed preferred not to share their answers. So you really can't determine anything from this. But if you look at the 28% for Trump and the 22% for Biden, what jumped out from that to me is just how close it is come Tuesday when the election actually takes place. I already voted. I'm not going to share my vote. That's my personal business. But at the end of the day, and the whole purpose for this message is if President Trump remains president, we know what we get with him. He's been our president for 4 years, so you could confidently move forward knowing the policies, the plans, the procedures, the things that he's done, both during COVID and pre-COVID, and you could move forward with confidence. If Biden wins, you know that there's going to be changes from what President Trump is currently doing because Biden is running in opposition to what Trump is doing. And so again, I don't care either way. I know changes are going to come. And this is where, regardless as to who wins, we as business owners, we as marketers, we have to be both flexible and agile. Flexible and agile. Now, flexible means, you stretch, and the more you stretch, the more flexible you are, right? You want to be flexible so that you can bend, but don't break. This comes to your internal policies, your internal procedures, the things that you're doing for marketing effort, the things that you're doing for recruitment and retention. You have policies and procedures in place. Make sure that they're flexible enough so that you can bend the rules when you need to without breaking the rules. That's the flexibility. The agile means being flexible and changing in motion, right? When I think back to when COVID first started for my own company, and I've shared this story many times publicly with you, the reason why my company is thriving today and continuing to grow, even though all this mess happened, is because we were very agile and flexible. We were flexible and we had our policies and procedures with how we operate the business, how we onboard new clients, how we run the operation, because we already had the ability to do so remotely. So we just became 100% remote instead of partly remote. And so we were able to bend our policies and rules to accommodate the change that we needed. The agility came from how we attract, how we sign on and bring on new customers. It was completely different from the way that we used to do it. We used to get people to come to events. They meet other clients. And then people were thinking about joining us and signing up for services with us, couldn't because we didn't have events. And so I had to completely change the way that I go about doing business. We came up with new packages and new programs, and we did so relatively quickly. I own a multi-million-dollar company. Many of you own multi-million-dollar companies or hope to someday own multi-million-dollar companies. The bigger your company, the harder it is to be agile because there's so many moving parts. You have so many staff members, you have so many procedures, you have so many field staff, you have so many caregivers, you have so many clients. You can't make a change like this. So you have to be willing to adjust, that's your flexibility, and make necessary changes regardless as to what's happening politically, regardless as to what's going to happen on Tuesday. Because I'll tell you one thing you can all guarantee. When the election is determined, whoever wins on November 4th, you're going to have to get up and come to your office and run your business. And you have to continue to do so because there will always be patients in need. So when you think about it, if you're one of those people that's worried, if you're one of those people that can't make a decision, or you have analysis paralysis and I can't make a decision until I know, don't fall susceptible to that. It's okay to adjust on the fly. I want you to also think about a captain of a ship crossing the Atlantic Ocean. Right? If you're crossing the Atlantic Ocean, sometimes there's going to be a storm that shows up. Now, in some instances, you might see the storm ahead of time because of your radar, and it'll tell you where it is. In other instances, there might be an object like an iceberg. Think about the Titanic, right? An iceberg right ahead. So you have to be able to course correct to still get to your destination, which your destination is your goal, right? It's what you're trying to accomplish in the calendar year or the month or the quarter or whatever. That's your goal, that's your destination, but you're gonna have to course correct on how you're going to be able to obtain it and get to where you wanna be. And in order to do so, you have to be flexible, as I said, and agile, willing to change on a drop of a dime's notice to be able to put that implementation in place. Now, if you need help with this, this is the reason why I want you to join the webinar, because the webinar, I'm going to go over everything that you need to do, and it's free. It's my free gift to you. I love you guys. Do I want you to be a customer? Duh, of course I want you to be a customer. You've been watching my videos for years, but I love giving out the free content to just show you a taste of what we do for our actual paying clients who are all thriving right now. They're going through the same things that you are, but they're moving forward with confidence because I've taught them how to be flexible and agile regardless as to what's going on in the world around them. So I hope to see you on the webinar. I hope you got some good information about out of this video here. And again, if you find yourself in this place of fear, anxiety, you're not sure what to do, cluelessness, or not even cluelessness, but more just overly cautious, that's okay. It's a state of mind. We have to move forward though, because our staff are depending on us. Our clients are depending on us. Our caregivers, they're all relying and depending on us. We move forward with confidence, right? What is it saying that I've said many times before? Being courageous in the absence of fear is not courageous. It's courageous, or courage comes when you face your adversity and you move forward with confidence, even though you're afraid. It's okay to be afraid. It's okay to be anxious. We just have to keep moving forward. I love you all. God bless. Talk soon.